and hell things. Because hey, welcome to Records of Evil. If you've missed any adventures of us, we are a D&D show. These are lawful evil characters. Very evil villains that have been trying to summon Asmodeus and have been going on various adventures. And one of their adventures led them to a sort of pseudo partial side quest. They managed to talk to someone at a wedding that was related to one of their targets, so to say. We'll keep it at that for now, until the details come up more. But effectively, they're looking for a relative of someone from their time period. Oh yeah, they're time traveling too. Because modern day favorite, and they're from normal past favorite that everybody else would know about. Wow, details that are important for an intro. I don't know. Anyway, last time they went to an elven mafia wedding. That was a thing. Where Dox assassinated someone. But Dox was supposed to assassinate someone while looking like another person, but went a little ham? A little ham. We'll use that as a term.
That's a way you could describe it, I guess.
Got a little annoyed and went all magical when the person that they were pretending to be might not have been magical. As far as you know, you hadn't heard anything about magical abilities. Well enough, someone could have gained abilities specifically for something like this. You never know. But the entire idea then becomes he unfortunately was arrested by the cops. The cops were called in earlier than was expected. He was arrested, he's in jail, and now it has been requested that before he can talk about anything, because apparently he doesn't have magical powers, it would be nice if you could arrange for him to pass away in a manner that makes it look like he caused himself to pass away. AKA the old fake a suicide in prison criminal activity. Yes. So that's where we left off. You know, that old chestnut.
Yeah, the old, it happens like every day, right? Yeah.
Look, I'm gonna say, there's probably a lot of crime movies that it happens in.
It's first grade.
Really. Or crime-based TV series. They do that at one point in time. At one point in time, it's gonna happen in one of those things, is that, you must arrange for it to look like himself, that he did himself in or something. I don't know why I'm doing the Mafia voice, because it might not be Mafia that it would be in.
It's always the Mafia.
Oh, I also have a much quieter keyboard.
Ooh.
You can probably still hear it.
Give him a pair of shoes and a form like it's like here are your cement shoes. You know what to do with yourself. Anyway. So, regardless, that's where we kind of are leaving it in. Your team reassembles at the back end of the wedding celebration. Now 12 hours later, a man is in jail. Now, granted, it's late at night, so most likely that's why he's being held. Probably a little longer than normal for questioning. It was probably just police officers which brought him in. And the detective is probably asleep at home and needs to be contacted and brought in to question, because they probably want a, proper detective questioning this man and investigating it.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah.
The original disturbance call was for assault, not for, murder. So officers came in and arrested the man originally anyway. So, Officer Jenkins is oh, you got the dude. Good work, Jenkins. He's like, yeah, great. This is a weird case. Uh-huh. And that's kind of where we're at. So, you're back together again. What's the plan?
Probably.
Well,
yeah. What's the plan?
I don't know if Dox has informed anybody else about the plan. Did we have you say anything to them?
No. I also am just gonna turn and push Doc off because my key's breaking. So you're gonna have to put up with allergy sniffles. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna bring out this tissue and be like, allergy sniffles. Mm-hmm. It happens all the time on my end. I've got enough of it that I just don't bother.
It's pollen season, and it is killing me. Mm-hmm. Dox has not told anyone, Doc was just on the phone. The only thing Doc said was, in response to something, that's disgusting. And Doc now looks very annoyed and mad. Ugh. Fuck. Well, great. Who wants to help me break into a police station and look like a man killed himself?
Why not?
I suppose we don't have much of a choice, do we?
Yeah, oh, hello there.
Grr.
I didn't know this is carrion crowd now.
Grr. Sorry.
Oh shit!
Your DM's being childish.
Two worlds are colliding.
A random giant werewolf shows up in the middle of the area. No.
Wolf stag.
Wait, does evil map work? It does. There, you can see me doing my thing. I'm sorry, I have to click back on it.
It's beautiful.
Grr. Anyway, okay.
Well, the plan didn't go off great, admittedly, partly on my doing. Someone assaulted him, and he called the cops.
I wonder who that could have been.
And now I have to clean up the mess. So, well, I've got a few ways I can deal with this, but getting in's gonna be the harder part.
So, does someone want to make me a investigation check if you want to learn about the police station? That'd probably be a good call.
I can
Yeah.
try. I'm not great at investigation.
Never mind.
I can certainly
Try as
inspiration
well.
myself
Vercel,
and try.
You can have advantage because of powerful demonic forces or devilish forces give you brain power of like internet. Remember?
Yeah, no.
Uh-huh.
He
I was just gonna-
does not know what this place is.
So, actually, I was just going to use this.
I'm gonna.
Well,
I take.
Name or
well,
describe
I-
a person, place, or object. The spell brings to mind a brief summary of the significant lore of the thing you named. The lore might consist of current tales, forgotten stories, or even secret lore that it has never been widely known.
In the beginning, there was the police station of Flan.
Well, I spent my bardic. Now I need to figure out what to use it on.
I mean, it might not be relevant information.
You'll legend
but I feel like
lore
hopefully it
the
is.
police station of Flan, like thinking deep into it and to its past. And you will actually learn of some things that may be helpful. The police station of Flan was originally a place that was actually built on top of what was an ancient fortress. Now, the fortress itself has been long since disassembled, and it was just a miniature fortress within the city of Flan. The current building was built on part of what was some of the ruins, kind of rebuilding it, as it had been kind of used into a semi-modern era. This was like about 500 years ago, that it was finally kind of like, it had been sort of in use publicly, but it had been like a 1,000-year-old fortification, we'll say, so it had been in use for 500 years, and about 500 years ago the current building was built. So the current building has been expanded upon over the last 500 years, of course, and rebuilt and refixed, but the basic core of it comes from that rebuild back during that time. You will know that there are still parts of the old fortress that exist. the original fortress, the one that was pre-500 years ago, like the old dungeons, were converted into the jail cells. So they're still underground and below the current police station. You will learn that during a time period about 350 years ago, there was you'll learn of an old battle that was actually between a gang of the Elven Mafia versus the police. There was a big gang war that occurred. And then the police got involved between the Elven Mafia and another gang, and they had captured the other gang's leader, and the Elven Mafia wanted to get rid of him rather than just having him in jail, so they assaulted the police station. And the police managed to win by using a hidden passage that was connected to the dungeons. You know it exists. You're not sure where it is in modern times, because this was about 350 years ago. But there is an old secret tunnel that once existed in. Whether or not it's been closed off, that's what you learn using your legend lore.
Okay.
And the police used it to basically get some people out, flank the Mafia siege, and drive them off. And since then, the Mafia's presence in Flan has been much weaker, effectively. They're still here, but not as powerful. Anyway.
Yeah.
Docs, you had Bardic Inspiration.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to use it on. I guess I'll just, because I'm doing this at the same time, so that takes 10 minutes. So, bap. I have a D8, right?
Sure.
Yeah, I have a D8.
Yeah.
Blap.
Okay. Well, Rizal, did you have any other questions or comments on your bit of information? Might interrupt
I was
again.
just gonna say I know of a way in, but I'm not sure. But the police definitely know it exists, and I'm not sure how well guarded it be.
Yes. You can look into things then. As I said, the building itself is old. It certainly had a number of refits over the years. It seems about every 100 years they go in and refit the place a little bit, add in things that they need, rebuild stuff. The last one was actually about 30 years ago. So the building still has some age to it, but certainly, it's got more modern electrical systems. They've installed, stuff for, internet and stuff. But it also seems as though that they are planning on building a separate building somewhere. And not necessarily decommissioning this building, but reworking it into something else. As much as these refits have been helpful, 500 years is still a long time to use the same building. You get a basic idea of where things are. You don't have a map of the layout, but you know that the main floor tends to have a offices area and a check-in area for a lot of it, where a lot of the basic officers are. The second floor tends to be where a lot of the laboratories are. Some of the forensics people and some of the detectives have their offices on the second floor. The third floor has a training area. The rest of the detective offices, and the fourth floor has where the chief's office is, and has effectively a couple of rooms, a couple of the records rooms are up on the fourth floor. The main armory would be on the first floor, kind of in the center of the building. On the basement is the kind of first area of the basement. They have the evidence storage, and then they have a second basement, which is more akin where the dungeon was, which is where the jail cells are. So it's going to be down and past check-in. There is an elevator that goes between the floors, though. So, that's modern day things. Elevator helps a lot. But again, you'd have to get into the main floor, get past a whole bunch of officers, get into the elevator, access it down. There's, of course, security cameras, guards on duty, things like that. It's going to be the night shift, which means it's going to be a like half shift effectively, but they still have people there. Not as much as during the day shifts. What else would you find out with that? If they haven't questioned him yet, you're unsure. You do know that they have, like, interview/holding cells on the first floor. If it's close to the time they're going to be interviewing him, they might have him there. If they're waiting a bit for perhaps, like, a number of detectives to come in or some people to, like, wake up and things like that, he's going to be downstairs in the second basement. So those are the two locations he could be from your basic research.
Okay.
I can also say that with your combined check with what Vercel found out, you will know that the old secret passage exists. They supposedly walled it off in the rebuild 30 years ago. It doesn't mean it's not impossible to go in through there. It just means you'd have to somehow get through a wall. Apparently they didn't seal the complete thing because it had historical significance, and, like, there was a number of artifacts in there, so they left it that, like, they sealed off the side in the police station and left it to the dig site. Looking into the dig site, you can say that they ended up, like, sealing the other end of it, but leaving the tunnel intact, as it seemed to be a network of, like, old secret tunnels that related to Old Flan, dating back even longer than the fortress was. And they just, over the last 30 years, they've investigated it here and there, but, you know, there hasn't been a major expedition into the tunnels in some time. Hasn't been funding for it, apparently. So both ends of the secret passage are sealed, which is sort of like one of those obnoxious things about, like, what you were looking up that you probably wouldn't have noticed if it wasn't for Vercel mentioning something.
Mm-hmm.
You could find it, but again, like, one side has like a metal cap or something over top of it, you know, so not impossible to break into, difficult. Wall on the other side, secret passage. So there you go. And that's if you're not breaking in the direct way of imitating someone, but who'd imitate then, and yeah, so. Anyway, there you go. I hope that's enough information for you to make some decisions.
Okay. Yeah.
So for Sal, you were like, I think there's a secret passage that's in, and then Dox is like looking and like, I think I know where that is. Good call. You know, kind of thing like that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And that leads pretty much directly to the holding, or to this prison area, right?
Yes. The secret passage leads down to the second basement. You don't think it's in the same area as the prison cells is, because there's probably, like, in the second basement, because it is an ancient place, there's probably, like, some old storage areas and stuff from, like, the 500 years of history that have been placed down there. You know, you got your holding cells, old storage that probably aren't really good enough for, like, evidence storage, because they're, you know, dank dungeon cells and stuff like that, and places. But probably, like, old furniture, things from, like, the remodels over the years, probably down there.
Okay.
Well, if we can get through that wall, I've got ways to be unseen.
Let's see.
Getting through that wall is a problem.
No Jester Dank Caves, unfortunately.
Yes, I do. Wait, so did you... So is it sealed off with metal or brick?
The way into the tunnels from the outside world is sealed off with metal. It's like a they built something over top of it and like fenced it off and like locked it up using like, you know, big like metal hatch and stuff that's locked up and probably like chained up. From the outside, yes.
Oh wait.
That way's going to be a little bit harder, but the wall off on the inside part will be easier because I have stone shape.
Wait, like so, metal hatch is in like a hatch that can be opened or something else?
Like a hatch that could be opened. You know, because they kind of just like put something over top of like, because it led to like originally it led out to like an old like part of like a actually it led out to an old well originally that had dried up long ago. So it led off into the side of a well that one could kind of either climb out with or use like a rope to like use the rope that was in the well to climb out. That's what the police did. They climbed out of a rope. They converted that to something that was a little bit more manageable. It was an old dried out well, so they basically like added a floor in at the bottom where the secret kind of side of the well was, which was like a secret door in the side of the well. Capped it off, put like a big like metal thing on top of it, you know, like just big metal kind of building over top of it. Just kind of got rid of the old well and just again made a big cap over top of it and fenced it off. Then, you know, put warning signs and stuff, and probably some people at the, you know, the small museum area in Flan have the key to it. It's just again like there have been more important archaeological discoveries and no one has found a map of the tunnel system, and the one that was there only connects to a few of them, and it looks like there's collapses that have made it difficult to excavations. And because of the nature of the ground under there, they don't want to push it too much, and so there hasn't been, since like 30 years ago, there was a few archaeological things over the last 30 years, and most of them got some cool artifacts from the tunnels that exist, but further exploration has been kind of like, well, it is a thing we would like to explore someday, we're not good for it.
Okay.
For various reasons.
If it's locked, docs can maybe unlock it.
And if there's a stone wall on the other side, I can get through that.
Well, it sounds like you have a way in.
Yep, that's the way
Now
in.
we need to figure out now we need to have a plan for how to kill him.
Well, depending if he's alone in a cell, I can illusion something up, mask strangling him and framing it like a hanging.
That probably works.
If he's elsewhere, it's gonna need a little more complicated.
Complicated. Wonderful.
I think I have something for that as well.
There's also the possibility that he's under watch for some specific reason.
Alright, sure.
Mm-hmm.
But
Let's get bigger. Oh no. Alright, yeah, that's the... Guess the well is the best plan.
I like the idea that's the best plan. Doesn't mean it's a great plan. It's the best plan.
Yep, it's the one we got.
Mm-hmm. Alright. So you'll head for the well. So you depart the wedding, and of course it is very late at night. You had a vehicle that I believe you had brought here because you drove. So you can easily drive out into the area. So, the police station's currently in a little bit more of like, I wouldn't call it like suburban, but like this station is at least not in the main city. So it's got like houses, some businesses in the area, but it also has like a little bit of woodland. It's, you know, that like kind of like edge of a city kind of area too. So, you know, there's a couple of small parks and stuff, and the well area is in fact at the edge of like this little park. It's got some woodlands. It's got like a baseball or like something akin to a baseball field. I don't know if they have baseball, but, you know, like akin to that. Like, you know, like a jungle gym, some walking paths, you know, through the woods. And it's kind of like, you know, marked off as like an archaeological thing. Do not enter, dangerous kind of thing. Kind of like, you know, you get like transformers that might be like in an area like that sometimes that you're like, probably shouldn't play with that. And kids might try to climb on it because they're jerks and want to get murdered, but that's besides the point. Anyway, so yeah, it looks as though it's like this like fenced off area. You can like kind of park at the park. They have some parking there. You're the only vehicle in the parking lot? I mean, it's there, it's out of the way, it's parked. You can probably park in like the shadows rather than under one of the like lights that are in the parking lot of the park. There's probably also like a small like park building there, you know, something that people are in charge of it for like a city-ish park. Kind of like, you know, not people are there right now, of course. You can kind of wander through the darkness to the thing. It's fenced in. It's of course got like it's like a chain link fence with like a little bit of barbed wire at the top, you know, to discourage people from climbing over. You know, it's got the gate in it with like some chain on it and a big like padlock. And it looks like there's like this little like half building with like a kind of corrugated roof to keep like water from getting on this this like, you know, big old device like hatch, English, which also has like kind of like, it looks like it's got some chains across it and like a couple of locks on it, you know. But you can see it that it's like, again, in a half building that's just built enough to give it like a roofing rather than like walls. And like there's some trees relatively nearby, not close enough that like someone could leap over into the thing, but like enough that like probably protects it from some of the elements that way too, if there's like, you know, wind and stuff. It's kind of like off in a little corner area, just barely off of like the like maybe like 100 feet from the walking path, and like just barely off of like the sports field that's out there.
Okay.
So on visual, there are 3 locks that look like need to be taken care of.
3 locks. Okay. I will attempt with the first one.
Okay, the big padlock on the gate there.
Yeah. Let's see, where is that? Ah, there it is. Okay. Okay. I'm going to spend an inspiration again, and I'm going to try to keep these tools open.
Okay.
With dexterity. Okay. I'm not going to use my inspiration yet.
Nope, and you'll get through the lock just fine. You'll kind of get in there. Everybody else can keep kind of like a lookout just in the area. You know, Mishka, you'll notice that there's like over by this like trash can, there's like a raccoon sitting on top of it, like eating something that seemed like fished out. It's just like looking at you like shadily, like, don't mess with my stuff. It's got like an apple core it's chewing on as it's like looking at you, like, you know.
Can I offer it a snack that I got from the wedding?
Sure.
I will offer it said snack.
Pet raccoon time.
Yes.
It'll chitter and like grab it and then run off like the thing where it like, you know, kind of runs off on 2 legs while holding something.
Yeah.
So it's got that and like the apple core, and it's like just like chittering off into like the woods with its loot.
Yes. Very happy for this raccoon.
Yes. All right. And you're through the first lock. You can get into the area that was fenced off. As you can see, it looks as though there are two separate locks on here. There's one that seems to be as part of the chains, which have been kind of chained over top of it. So there's like a lock in a center. And then there's a lock that seems to be connected to the opening mechanism to the actual thing.
All right, I'll give lock number 2 a crack.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm going to use my inspiration on that one.
Okay. All right. You get through the second one. You can kind of pull the chains off of it, that are kind of chained over top of it and connected into the area around it. So, like, they're kind of large, like a little rusted chains, because even though, like, there hasn't been direct rain, it's like this area does have enough moisture in the air to give a little bit of rusting on them, after, 30 years of use or so.
Mm-hmm.
So you get the chains off, and then you can kind of see that, like, again, this lock looks a little bit more complex, to be sure. This one seems to be like a interestingly specialized one. The last couple of them have been kind of like padlocks, just things that you like, click in, have the big, like maybe not a big keyhole, but like a keyhole in them, so.
Okay. Alright, I will spend another inspiration.
Okay.
To try to unlock this one.
I'll
Okay.
help you with this one. So advantage.
Okay.
Are you trained in lockpicking?
Actually, am I? That's a good
Who
point.
beat these tools?
You know who can help you?
Therzee.
Everyone, don't worry about this. I'll assist you.
Hold on, I
Was
just
she the
clicked
Cockney
Therzee.
one?
I don't-
Yeah, Therzee was Cockney,
Otherwise,
B was
these tools.
bad
Oh.
Scottish.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just click this handy dandy advantage button on my sheet.
No. Use that one. It's the better one of the picks. You want to go there?
And just because, I mean, I have it, I might as well use it.
Sure.
If I
Yeah,
have to.
okay.
Oh.
All right, yeah.
Nice.
Okay. Anyway, I don't know. Interesting. So you kind of like pick up the lock for a little while. It certainly is complex, but you'll manage to get it open then.
There we go. Thanks for the help. Alright, everyone ready?
All right. Yeah, you'll be able to kind of like unhook the. I keep brain farting on the name of the thing that I keep saying it is hatch. And kind of pop it open. You can see there's kind of a ladder down this circular stone shaft leading to what looks to be like a wooden platform at the bottom, which you assume is the very loose platform that was built over top of the rest of the well.
Okay.
The ladder itself, it's a very simple ladder. Like, again, like, it's another one of those cases where it looks like it's mostly actually like a wooden ladder that's been installed here on the side of it. Fortunately, you don't feel a lot of moisture down in there. It's been sealed off pretty well. Mostly airtight for the last 30 years. Probably not perfectly, but mostly.
Okay. Well, down docks goes.
All right.
Follow.
The wooden like rungs that have been like pounded into like the stone side, they work decently, and when you get to the bottom, it has that little bit of give that like makes you a little bit nervous, but like not enough nervous, as you can see that like there's the secret door that's in the side of this is partially closed. Like it looks as though like it wasn't closed up all the way, but it was like kind of partially kind of moved to the side. So it looks like you kind of push and move it out of the way into the tunnel. So, moving into the tunnel, it is old. obviously. It looks as though something that you would see closer to, you know, well, definitely like closer to like your era of kind of things of construction. It's like stone, hewn stone, in a place where you see a lot of like concrete and metal a lot of times, unless you're in like old buildings. It's again nice to see something that's of old construction. Because you remember the days when everything was hewn stone back in your days.
Back in my day.
Mm-hmm. There's kind of dust and dirt all on the ground. You can see that there's a number of offshoots off of this tunnel. Easily you can see that like the first couple completely collapsed right away. Another one kind of leads off approximately like maybe 100 feet and then has a collapse. And it looks as though there's one that you get to that goes a little deeper, but there's like a metal gate that's been put in the way. That seems to have some kind of locking mechanism that's really weird. You do not see a place on it necessarily that you'd be able to pick that one if you wanted to, just on first glance.
Okay.
I would describe it akin to like the gate itself, which actually, like, though it's kind of like a little rusted and old, has some like weird elaborate designs to it. Has this kind of like spinny thing on it that seems to have like three inner, like it has like an outer spinning and two inner spinning things that seem to be maybe like closer to like a safe dial than anything.
Has Docs ever seen a lock like this before?
Since you've spent some years in the kind of modern era and doing your thing, you've probably seen like a more like spinny dial safe. It kind of reminds you of that a little bit, but from the looks of it, it looks as though rather than one dial that you'd spin back, it looks like maybe that these are three separate dials that you would attune to the right numbers and spin them in the right directions to get them to those numbers. Or in this case, they're symbols. You did not read about this in what you were reading about for their things, but you didn't dive deep into their archaeological stuff. You're also, I'm going to give you, you're probably sure that this might not be the way to the prison, because this is like one of the offshoots has this. Or to the prison area of the police station.
Interesting. Well, that could be fun for another time.
Mm-hmm.
But
Perhaps
Doc
on
is
the
going
way back if things go fine.
Mm-hmm. Okay. You continue on your way, and eventually you'll like get to what looks to be like a kind of like the tunnel that you're in, which has kind of been like dirt floor, kind of like arched ceiling rather than like a flat ceiling the entire way, and just tall enough that like all of you can kind of fit. So it's like maybe at the top of the arch it's maybe like 7 foot tall, and it's like 5 foot wide corridor. So it's not a large corridor in here at all. It's very claustrophobic. It's very tight. These tunnels weren't meant for like large things. Definitely. At the end of it's a kind of small room with a number of boxes. It looks as though there's a combination of probably storage boxes which may have been here. Some stuff that was left over from archaeologists in the past. You know, like there's actually a couple extra tools that look like they were left behind. There looks to be like a little bit of faded paperwork. And you certainly can see on the one back wall, there is a secret door that is obvious from this side. No checks needed. Between you, you got passives enough to notice it.
You think that's it?
Probably.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
You can open the secret door if you want then. It's not difficult to open. It's kind of like a stone secret door that was built into the wall. But once you move out of the way, it is very obvious that on the other side, there's just a wall of brick.
Well, This is where I come in.
All right.
Sorry, I'm just finding the... Boop.
Okay. So you'll move in.
Stone object.
Mm-hmm.
No more than 5 feet in any direction.
You make
Basically, as long as
yeah.
they didn't wall off 5 feet of brick.
It is not. It is. It seems as though it is a couple layers of brick. It's just not one layer of brick. So they did make it a little thick, just safety's sake, and to make sure it was pretty sealed off. So it's like 3 layers of brick deep. So it's maybe like 1.5 feet. So you can make kind of like not a perfectly like huge tunnel, but you can make like a little tunnel that easily all of you could crawl in through.
Well, it's 5 feet by 5 feet by 5 feet. So.
Yeah.
But at the same time, probably best not to make it too big anyway.
Mm-hmm. So there's more than 5 feet in any dimension, and form it. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, you definitely can
just
make
big
it
enough to fit. Though is still a good idea.
Yeah.
But
it's dark inside the room, and there appears to be a pile of desks in the way.
I can also create it to have like hinges and stuff, so I'll make it like a door pulled and just remove the door when I leave, because I can also do that.
So yeah, you have your hole, and beyond it, again, pile of desks in your way.
Well,
They look like old antique desks.
is there like a gap under them?
You could... They're like the kind that were like wooden and went all the way down to the ground and just had like a foot area underneath it. And like it's like 3 of them are piled on top of each other. So you have the one on the bottom, and then you have one that's kind of like piled in such a way that the other one is kind of like on top of it, and like you've got that back wall facing you from the one on top, and the one in the middle has it like facing towards you, so like there's this opening, and there's like also within that opening that's kind of been made, it looks as though someone like put like some kind of weird, just looks like a bag there actually.
Okay.
So yeah, you got these 2 desks, one that would be like the area people's feet would be facing you, one of them that's facing away from you, one below that where you can't really tell as much, but you definitely can see that's a desk, and then this bag that's just sitting there.
Suspicious bag.
Suspicious bag.
You know what?
The bag does not seem to be trapped. That's for sure.
I could check
Someone's
trap
lunch.
for within line of sight, so probably within the room, but
Yeah. Well, you don't really have line of sight right now because there's desks in the way.
oh, whatever. Still, I don't trust the bag.
I mean, you definitely, the bag seems
Look,
safe.
the last time I went ruin delving made me very paranoid.
Mm-hmm.
I've just realized part of my plan is now super fucked, so this will be fun.
Mm-hmm.
How quietly can we lift and move these desks?
Again, like there's the one that's facing towards you is like upside down, so it's like so you probably could try to lift the one on the third one, the one that's on top, very much so. Lifting it quietly.
Wait. Better point.
Uh-huh.
How big is this room, can I tell?
You cannot, because again, you have desks in the way.
Can I... Oh, wait, no, sorry. It's a... Can I weaken a spell on purpose? I'm wondering if I can cast Silence just in the area around the desks.
You probably could target silence in such a way that it would just get that, but it would include all of you. So rather than weaken it, you could definitely just target in such a way that it could just get the desks.
Got it. Okay. Okay. How about we move this all silence, and then we can make certain to not make noise moving these desks around.
That sounds like a plan.
Okay.
So yeah.
Click your silence. Click your silence.
Silence.
20-foot radius sphere centered a point within your range. So you're kind of centering it on top of yourself, I assume?
Yeah, or a little bit behind us, just to make sure that we're only just getting enough of the desk, so if we like push them over, move them, or scrape them against the ground, it's not going to make a bunch of noise, and we can move them out of the way.
Alright, yeah. Then, sure, you can move the desks kind of out of the way. Yeah, it seems as though there's like a lot of old furniture stored in this room. It's a pretty decent-sized room. It's pretty filled, so it makes it a little more difficult to travel through without knocking into anything. That's for sure. You can certainly get the desks off to the side and onto like a nearby pile of stuff, which would have made an incredible amount of noise, but it's silenced.
Well.
And I'll say you could probably move the two main desks out of the way. Push the one certainly off the pile and move the one kind of out of the way that you can kind of crawl around it into what it looks akin to like a walkway through this pile of junk that leads out to a door. You probably could have put your silence spell right like in the room. It's a pretty big room. It's like storing like, you know, maybe like a lot of furniture. You can actually see like points on the wall because this is like hewn stone, like very like dungeonous. You can see that there is like a light installed in here, definitely. So like people put a light in here, but you can see points on the wall where it looks as though there was places that maybe like, you know, chains could once be attached to. They never removed those. Well, there's, you know, signs that maybe this was like a holding cell at one time. Anybody doing anything with the nice bag?
My brain says just to leave it be.
Okay.
Part of me wants to touch the bag, but that's not why we're here. So
It's
Doc's
not trapped.
movie?
It's not trapped.
It isn't trapped.
But
Docs
at
would
the
not
same
touch
time. Okay, let me. Actually, wait. Hold on. He wanted me to post find trap, so I wanted to read something in this. Hold on. Includes anything that would inflict sudden or unexpected effect you consider harmful and recital, which was specifically intended by its creator. Spell sense the alarm. Since area affected by the alarm. Since an area affected by the alarm spell, a glyph rewarding. So it wasn't intended to harm, but that doesn't mean it can't harm.
Doesn't mean it can't. I mean, up to you. It's
Doc
there.
is not going to touch the bag.
Okay. Mishka, do you want to touch the bag, or are you going to leave it too?
I don't know. Do I need to touch this bag?
You don't need to touch anything.
But they could have an animal in it. You don't know.
It could have a boat in it. It could have a boat in it.
It could be a bag of holding with a invisible stalker in it.
You could have anything.
Animal is tempting.
Could have anything in it.
Can I just poke at the bag?
You could like poke at the bag. It feels just like a bag. It's got something in it,
Right.
certainly.
It's got something in it, but we don't know what it is.
I would describe it like a in our terms, probably closer to akin to like a 1920s, 1930s kind of like little like, it's got that kind of like metal top that clicks together on the top of it. You know, it's kind of got like the shape to it.
That...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe like a
Almost
doctor's
like a
bag.
large
or-
version of a coin purse or whatever.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
Remind me why this bag is here?
it was just hidden here.
We don't know why this bag's here.
Yeah, it was just hidden.
And you guys decide not to touch it.
They did
Yeah.
decide
Doc
not
just
to
got a
touch it.
person to kill.
Well, I will take this bag since no one else seems interested in it.
Okay, you've got bag. Just
I
list,
have bag.
you
Got
just
a
be
bag.
like mine.
I've got a bag.
Yeah, we can worry about what's in it later.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
Probably the best way to take care of it. Although, I recommend. How about, since this is probably going to be our way out, just put it on the other side of the wall, and we can grab it on our way out.
Good idea.
Okay. All right. So
Bag.
I will need a dexterity save if you're moving out of the silence area, just to see about. Actually, no, like acrobatics. Just to see how well you can move through the piles of stuff without disturbing anything. If you're trying to be quiet. If you're not trying to quiet,
That's
you'll.
usually not to try.
Uh-huh.
I don't try.
Mhm.
I
Oh, I saw it 15. I saw the advantage click. Sorry.
Yeah. I'll be honest, not too difficult. Even for Cell, you will manage to not really like make a lot of noise. You maybe like bump into a few things, but nothing makes like a huge amount of noise. You know, like there's for a second there's like a tiny scrape, but you like pause. Doesn't seem like there's anybody near the door. Like it would have been something that if someone was near the door, they might have heard something, but a little farther down, no. Like to the door of this room, there's a nice, like, actually fairly modern-looking door on this room. It does seem as though it's got kind of a lock on it, but it seems just to be like a key lock rather than anything too complex. So, like, what someone would have for like a house key to open this one. What you do?
Well, it's time for the master of unlocking.
Mm-hmm.
Doc's not Jill Valentine.
Mm-hmm.
She's not here today.
So you get the second best thing, but it'll
Yeah.
work.
He can make himself look like Jill Valentine.
Yeah, there
if
you
it
go.
helps.
Probably. Anyway, so you can kind of unlock the door. You'll kind of quietly and stealthily kind of like click, 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 click. Okay, the door is unlocked.
Okay. Alright. So time for part 2 of this plan. Because part 1 is fucked, so I have to skip it.
Mhm. Oh.
Okay, anything the target is firing or carrying. Dox is going to.
Oh, I didn't roll with disadvantage. Why am I rolling that for Therzee with
hmm.
disadvantage? I had her on rolling disadvantage last time, apparently.
Actually, Dox will like tell you guys to like stand back a little bit, and he'll mutter some things and go invisible.
Okay.
And he's gonna like crack open the door and just peek through the crack to see if there's anyone there.
Why don't you roll me stealth?
Stealth, okay. Oof.
Okay. I'm just gonna roll something here. Okay. We kind of peek open the door. It's a lit hallway. Still seems like it's that weird juxtaposition of like you've got like a hewn stone dungeon maybe when you have like incredibly bright, normal lights that you would have anywhere else like a modern day situation. It's like, wow, it doesn't fit. You expect like torchlight and dankness, and it's just like bright shining lights.
Yep. Okay. Do I see anyone in the hallway?
You do not. Seems quiet right now.
Okay, do I see any cameras?
Give me either perception or investigation. I'll allow you to do either of those on that one.
Alright, Fuck.
You don't see anything.
All right, that looks fine. Docs will slowly open.
Well, you're
You go
kind of
first.
checking the door. No, well, no, you're checking the door, so I can't check as well because it's a crack in the door.
Docs will kind of like slowly open it and step out, but try to do it in such a way that it doesn't reveal anyone else in the room if there's a camera or anything. What the hell is that?
What?
Is that? See, the DM's having fun today.
Jim's having fun today. Yeah.
But yeah, Docs will try to get into the hallway without opening the door too much.
Okay. You can kind of creak the door open and kind of like look out. You certainly see like this seems to be like maybe like a side hallway of somewhere. There's a number of these like kind of doors in the area here, and it leads off to like another hallway where you can see at the from the end of there's like, you know, like how in a policing you've those like kind of, or like a prison you've like those like barred walls with like a gate in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you've got one at the end of the hallway here.
Okay.
It seems as though, like, you know, again, that one looks like it's just got a very simple lock, but it's enough to, like, you know, like, oh, these are, like, you know, old storerooms that are locked up. They keep them, like, sealed up because technically, probably some of the stuff in there might be valuable antiques, you know?
Okay.
But the police just keep it locked away in here.
Right, and it's just, are there any other doors in this hallway, or just...
Oh, yeah, there seems to be, like, 4 rooms in here. Or 4, like, so there's, like, one... There seems to be a door, like, on the same side of the hall as you, next to you, and then 2, like, right across from it, like, symmetrically. So there's, like, a door across the hall from you.
Okay.
All similar,
like,
all similar looking doors.
Just, like, similar wooden looking doors or whatever?
Yeah. Modern
right.
wooden looking doors. Simple, like, you know, locks. You know... Something like a padlock on it that you, like, click open and, like, do the doorknob, you know, that kind of thing.
Okay. Docs will kind of not really pay much mind to the other doors. They don't look like cell doors, and kind of go to the big door at the end of the hall.
So like the metal,
yeah,
the barred wall, I could call it almost.
Yeah, like one of those.
Yeah. So it's like it separates out this from the other hallway, but it's like open air, so it's just kind of bars with a door in it. Yeah. It looks like that's maybe like the main hall. If you look to your right, you can see there's kind of like there looks to be a window into like a small room where there's some more light coming out of, and next to that there seems to be a like a gate that has no signs of a lock on it. To your left, there seems to be another like a couple more doors, and all the way at the end, an elevator.
Okay. All right. Okay. And this one is this one locked that I'm standing at now?
Yes.
Okay.
This one is more like it's got like a door in the gate that you'd have to slide from to the well, this one like it pulls open or not, but it's got like, you know, like a lock built into the metal kind of gate. That's part of it.
This is a mechanics question because I don't know. Do thieves' tools break invisibility?
No.
Okay.
Because invisibility is more if it's an aggressive action.
Okay, I wasn't too sure on that one.
Yeah, you're not attacking something. When you attack or cast a spell. So it would be if you cast another spell, it would, but just thieves' tools by themselves would not break it.
Okay. Dox is going to try to unlock this one.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead. You get up, you get through it. You unlock it pretty decently. It doesn't seem to be a hugely complex lock. Decent one, but not like, you know, so bad that you couldn't get through it with your tools.
Alright, remembering that there are other people here and Dox isn't doing this alone, Dox will like kind of walk back to the door at the end of the hallway and just whisper in, You can follow me if you want, but try to be very stealthy, or you can stay here and be a lookout. If someone shows up, just hide the entrance or whatever. It's up to you. I think I might be able to do this on my own. I could use some help. Especially someone who could maybe turn into like a small thing and scout ahead.
I got you.
Mm-hmm.
I can wild shape into a mouse or something.
Mouse is perfectly fine. All right. You can easily slip through all the bars that are here as a mouse.
Let's go.
Because the thing I realized why my plan was messed up, I technically can't polymorph myself. I'm immune to polymorph because of this.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yep.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a Mishka and Doc's mission now.
Okay.
Let's go.
So, Mishka, you can head out to the main hall then, as a mouse. As I told Docs, to your left there's a couple of doors that look to be into other rooms, and then you can see the elevator. To your right, you can see there's a door. You don't see the door. What you see is there's like a window into a room that seems to be overlooking the end of the hall there. And then there's a gate, which obviously doesn't have a lock on it. You're guessing maybe it's like a sliding door that someone inside that room activates before letting anybody into the jail area. That seems pretty obvious.
Right.
So you can head that way. You can either try to go in through the open like window side of the room and check out what's in there, or you can just go into the jail area if you want to check that out. What do you want to do?
I'll check the room with the window first.
Okay, you can kind of like climb up the wall and kind of peer over into the window, and you can roll me like stealth with advantage, I'll say. I'll give you a bonus for mouse also. Okay. You kind of like peer in, and you'll see this like this man in an officer's uniform, kind of sitting there. He seems to be watching like a little like TV that has like what looks to be like a sports game on, but he's got it muted. So he's kind of glancing over that as he's like doing some paperwork occasionally, and like kind of mumbling about like what they're doing, and he's still doing some paperwork. He's got like a computer next to him. There's this like it looks like there's this big switch that like that's got like open close marked on it very obviously kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's most likely for the main gates. And there actually does seem to be like a set of controls along with like a little display that seems to be for the prison. You're guessing that's for the controls for opening the various gates for prisoners.
Alright.
There seems to be you can count maybe about 8 cells, it seems. So it's not a huge network of cells, but they do have them very well sealed off here.
Can you see who's in what cell in there?
Well,
my cat's being dumb.
Yes. You'll kind of take a look around, and you can see that, like, on the computer, it does seem to be monitoring like, the area. It seems to have, like, maybe, like, a dozen cameras on the monitor. All of them are pretty small, but, like, getting a glance over them, it does look as though, like, there's some angles on the, at least on parts of the cells, like, on, like, the gates and partially into them. Enough that it keeps some of the prisoners' privacy, but enough that it also sees, like, if they're playing around with the actual gate, it can see them. So, like, the toilet that's in there, and, like, the benches and stuff, or, like, where they're lying down, that's closed. That's not in view, There is, like, a camera on the main hall, a camera in the hall that you're just wandered down, and one over by the elevator. So, yeah, seems to be, like, nearly a dozen cameras in the area, too, that, like, this computer is monitoring.
Right.
Again, the man is just doing some paperwork and paying attention to the sports game, so he seems distracted.
Cool. can't. I assume I can't really switch back and forth between the wild shape stuff. So,
You are limited, I think, in your number of wild shapes. So you would, if you would switch to anything else, you would use up one of your abilities. So.
Yeah. So, what's the plan here, even with Docs? Like, what's he trying to? Like, where is he trying to go specifically? Like,
one of the cells has the man that Docs was imitating.
Yeah.
You are to arrange for him to basically be dead, but also to make it look like maybe he hung himself or something.
Yeah, but I mean, like, how exactly am I helping Docs?
You were just more or less supposed to like
just
stealth and like.
I just wanted to make sure I wasn't like missing support. Okay. Before I go back, I'll go through the gate thing to see like where exactly that goes, like what that layout is and stuff.
You certainly will be able to find him. He is going to be going through that gate. The 8 cells that are there. He's going to be on the right side, third one in. There seems to be only 2 other occupied cells right now. One of them, which has like 3 individuals in them, who are all like kind of like, even at the distance that you are just checking them out, they reek of booze. So you're guessing that might be like their drunk tank almost, you know. They got 3 people that are really drunk in there. There's this man here, and in another one of the cells, there seems to be a woman that's just kind of like lying down in the bed there, asleep. Not sure why she's there, you know, but she is.
Yeah. She just seems to be.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. We'll come back and report this to Docs.
Okay.
This guy's very distracted with his sports.
He is distracted with his sports.
There's a way to open up the gate, but it is inside the room with the man with the sports.
Okay. Did Mishka see the target at all?
Yes.
Okay, sorry, like, I got distracted by my phone for a second.
Right side cell 3.
Okay, right side cell 3.
Left side cell 1 is the drunk tank, and left side cell 4 is the woman.
Okay.
So the only one that might have a view of you doing anything is the woman, but she was asleep right now.
She was asleep. Alright. I have... Getting through that gate is going to be the biggest issue.
Like, I could tell you, you could reach in and flip the switch. It would be kind of obvious, but you could flip the main switch to the main gate. Getting into the cell requires, like, another flip to be switched, though, too. You know, like like it's got electronics to open up the cell things.
Well, if I could just polymorph myself.
Theoretically, right?
How many... Sorry, you kind of cut out there.
No, continue.
I'm gonna try and phrase this in a way Docs would understand and try to come. How many more times can you turn yourself into an animal?
What is the answer to this?
What is the answer to this is a good
Somewhere
question.
on your sheets.
Normally it is
Wild
2 without a short rest to refresh them, though. I'm seeing if you get more uses of them as you level, and I don't know.
I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah.
I don't know if you get more uses than the 2. I feel like you should, but I don't know.
Use this feature
If you
twice.
do.
Let me see. What is improved wild shape? There's like a wild shape improvement, right?
There is Circle the Moon, which we said that,
Is it only 2 uses of it in 5?
but you can get it back with a short rest.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Okay. So
I can
Which-
do it one more time.
okay,
Without resting here for like an hour and hoping
Yeah.
that nothing goes on.
definitely in the cell, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is gonna sound weird, and I apologize. I can't make myself into things. I can make you into something. Could you do the job?
What level did I have everybody be?
We're 10.
Pretend, yes.
Then Mishka can maybe do something that does not require you to do that necessarily. Let me look up something here.
Right.
Because Dox's plan is polymorph Mishka into something small, get Mishka to the cell, have Mishka do it,
Mm,
and then have Mishka wild shape out.
yeah. That's not opening up. Why not?
I thought.
Uh-oh. Oh, there it goes.
Anything else that does work? Mishka's slightly.
Circle of the Moon, the
This-
wild shapy one, lightning.
She can do.
She could, I gotta be honest, there is something that she could do that I would probably allow just because of the nature of it. You could change it to an elemental.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Which means.
All right. Good. Let's give examples. Probably don't want to do fire.
No,
Burn things.
definitely not.
Water would make things very wet. But the two that you could use are either an air elemental, because you're air then. And I'm
Right.
pretty sure I'd kind of give you that, like... They don't say it, but like... Oh, yeah. Air form. You can move through a narrow space as wide as 1 inch without squeezing. You could squeeze through the bars as an air elemental, even though you're, like, 10 foot tall.
Nice.
And they can physically attack things. You could, like, crush its, like, wind or something. And the other option would be Earth, because they can, like, travel through the... They have Earth Glide, which means they can just move through unworked stone. Which would mean it... Well, they can move through non-magical, unworked earth or stone. Which means it wouldn't be difficult to get into the cell without damaging it, though. So maybe... Yeah. Maybe air. Yeah.
Yeah.
You could literally choke the air out of them.
Oh my god.
I could. Yes.
Yeah.
Does he have like a tie or something? Because that would help.
Probably bed sheets at very least.
Okay.
They might not have considered him suicidal, so they probably wouldn't have taken away bed sheets or stuff. And they've got little beds in each of the rooms.
So then, yeah, I can do that.
It's like the question of like how visible is a air
That's the
elemental?
question.
Yeah, how
I've been muted. What CR can you turn
I
into?
thought that was over.
mental.
It for the elemental there are like 5s for the basic elementals, and I think for Circle of the Moon at 10th level, if I go back to that,
1/3 rounded down.
yeah,
I just looked up what an air elemental looks like in 5e.
Well,
And it's just the best.
the reason I bring it up is because if she can get to 6, which I don't think she can, she could be a invisible stalker, which is completely invisible.
for the elemental wild shape, air elemental, earth elemental, fire elemental, water elemental, it just has those.
Okay, so just those
Yeah,
elementals. Got it.
and up to creature of CR3 it would be for beasts.
They're
Right.
pretty much just an air elemental.
Mm-hmm. So, There are cameras, though, is the thing.
Yeah.
I do not know how invisible an air elemental is.
Well, I posted what they apparently look like. One, it's a sad cloud, which is hilarious.
They're not invisible. They look like a weird. They do have a sort of airy form to them.
The picture I found off of D&D One just looks like a sad cloud.
It does look like a sad cloud. Oh my!
That's why I was trying to That's why I was hoping she'd be able to do the invisible stalker, which is completely invisible.
Yeah. I mean, then the option is like, 2 rests, or rest an hour. Hopefully, no one shows up, and then
Yeah.
I could polymorph Mishka into something.
Yeah, we can do the polymorph
Yeah,
thing.
the polymorph one will probably be just fine.
Mm-hmm.
So I would have to get somewhere where I would lose my invisibility safely to do it.
Mm-hmm. The hallway that you're in does not seem to have a camera in it. Because again, the hallway that you're in, the most critical thing in here is maybe some antiques which might be valuable. So they don't have a camera.
You'd have to pass through the camera area to get to this area.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's why they're just like, we don't put a camera in there. They have a camera in the cells. They have a camera, like, in that hall. A couple cameras in that hallway, just, like, of various angles. So
what do you want me to turn you into?
I suppose whatever's small enough to get through, right? Doesn't matter necessarily.
Yeah. Dox is going to break invisibility, and you are going to become rat.
okay.
Let's go.
And I will be right back. Assume that Dox
It's about break time anyway.
Yeah, I have to carry some groceries up.
Yeah, why don't we're a little later than break time. I just noticed the time too. So why don't we take our break time and then we'll worry about the effects of polymorph and stuff. So drink, snacks, bathroom break if you need that. Go and take it. We'll be back in a little bit.
Just saying.
Burp, burp, burp. Welcome back. Okay, so you were polymorphing. Let me check here.
I'm pretty sure it should work on
an unwilling creature makes a wisdom saving throw to avoid the effect. It was a willing creature.
They can forego the roll.
Yeah,
All right. The bad news about this is the rodent doesn't recognize you. It's just a rat.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, right. It's polymorph, not true polymorph, meaning they gain the mental stats.
Okay.
Uh-huh. So maybe that part of the plan doesn't work because it's a rat that you have to convince to go over there somehow. Because while you are it, you would just be a rat.
I try to say, all right, Mishka. God, all these plans going wrong. So good.
I'm the one with the animal handling.
Yep.
Yeah. Wait, let me check. Hold on, skills. Do I have?
So yeah. Okay.
I do not have it as a skill, but I still have a 4 in it because my wisdom's good.
You could try to get the rat to go somewhere you want, but...
So, after a second of being like, alright, Mishka, are you ready? And the rat now responding me like, fuck. Snap finger, you're unpolymorphed. Alright. Well, shit.
Hey, there's a very easy way to get this done.
Yeah?
I can create food or water. And the weirdest thing about it is it's like, it's within range. So, and it's a range of 30 feet. So as long as the hallway's not 30 feet long and I could peer around the corner, I could get the rat to go over with food.
Yeah, but how do you get the rat to go into the cell?
I forgot that. Yeah.
Because it's not only getting the rat into the cell, it's getting the rat into the cell out of the view of the camera that's watching part of the cell.
Yep, so...
It's getting all the way in there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So, I have a plan B, much stupider.
And I will note that while the hallway is very bright, the area where the cells are does have some lights, but it's very low lights, and the cells currently have their lights off. Probably just let prisoners sleep, especially because you're underground. So it is relatively dark in that area, but not completely dark.
I could try to polymorph the guard into like a fly. Just have him go on one intelligent fly adventure for a little bit.
Uh-huh.
Shit.
Another thing that's interesting about create food or water, it doesn't say line of sight. It doesn't. It says target the ground or container within range.
The ground that's within range is certainly okay. You wouldn't be able to reach the cell. The cell is more than 30 feet away.
Dang it. Okay. Never mind then.
Mm-hmm.
Problem with trying to polymorph the guard, if it doesn't work, we're gonna have a problem.
And when it does work, there's another problem, because... Do you remember at the time you were polymorphed? I'm pretty sure you do.
You do. You do. But,
Yep.
Your average person might pass that off as some kind of weird fever dream,
Wait. Does no one have any sort of sleep spell? Hold on. No, I don't have sleep.
Nope.
You guys don't have to speak with animals, do you?
Nope.
Sad.
Let's see here. What special abilities does Therzee have? Murder! Sounds about right.
Okay.
Can I cast suggestion on a rat?
Not really, because I don't think it can understand your
I
language.
don't think it has enough intelligence.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm gonna suggest to the rat something.
I could also try to charm the guard with charm person.
Hmm.
That's actually probably the...
Yeah, but then we still have the same problem where
But yeah, they are aware.
then we're screwed.
Yeah. Now I just assume we're back in the room, like, huddling and talking.
Yeah.
I could banish the guard.
The guard just doesn't exist anymore. He's like, oh god, oh!
Banish
I
him
just
to,
send
like,
him to another. I
Just
send him to another plane of existence for a
Send him
minute.
to like the 9 hells for a bit. It'll be fine.
Oh god, oh, what is this place? What's going on with me? This nightmare.
I had an idea earlier, right? What if it was like a raccoon or something that quote unquote got inside and distracted the guard and made him have to leave? Then theoretically you guys can go do stuff.
Yeah.
Because the nice thing about some of these spells is that you can see within range. The nice thing about these is I can use like scrying or arcane eye to get a range. Or to get a sight, and then he's within range and insight.
Unfortunately, just from the gates he's not within range or sight, and the problem... Well, he's within range, but not within sight, and the problem is, to get close enough, you'd have to get on camera. You're not sure if it's just watching or recording. Yeah.
That's the idea of arcane eye. As long as I'm within range, I can use arcane eye to get him in sight.
That's true. That's true. You could do that. And you could try spelling him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there is also the amazing and fantastic option of you could try the short rest and hope you have enough time.
Yeah, that's the thing.
That's the thing.
Okay, I did say when I created the door in the wall, I made it have a latch, so we could go back behind the door, hide there for an hour.
Alright, Dox is going to check his watch. What time in the day is it?
It is, we'll say, with everything that's happened, it is probably 1 a.m.
Okay.
You are not sure when a detective would be coming in. You assume they would have called in someone as quickly as possible, but that doesn't mean anything at this point in time.
Also, with like just a general knowledge of like how police stuff kind of works. If they've got him in a cell sleeping, they're probably just not going to wake him up until the morning. In real life, that's how it works. I don't know how it works in fantasy world.
That guy
But-
isn't sleeping though.
Oh, he's not sleeping.
He's not sleeping. He's just like sitting on the bed, confused.
Okay,
Uh,
okay.
So they might bring a detective in and check on him. Honestly, if he falls asleep, they might not disturb him, but he hasn't yet. As least as when Mishka checked. How did I make this character sheet? What's it for?
God, raccoon plan might be the best one, and they were like, oh God,
Because then the raccoon thing, right? Then you can do invisibility again? Question mark.
I have enough spell slots remaining for it. Yeah, so I can invisible again.
Yeah. But no, it's up to you guys if we have a better idea or what.
What race is the guard?
Just a human.
Okay. Just making sure he's not immune to charms.
No, he's just a human dude. Slightly overweight, seems like set for guard duty kind of person, yeah, that kind of one. Has some form of weird sandwich on his desk. He hasn't been eating it.
The one nice thing about using something like banishment is that we can then cast silence on the area and not worry about someone noticing that it's weird that it's quiet.
How long does banishment last?
It's 1 minute concentration, so we'd have to act fast.
Oh God! Oh, where the hell am I? What's going on? What?
Yeah, that's the thing is like you come back and like only a minute has passed, so it's like
Yeah, but like it's like what kind
The
of?
9 hells.
I mean, just a suggestion, but maybe you don't want to physically harm him, so he thinks it might be some kind of nightmare and he dozed off, and not that he,
Yeah.
fell into a hell dimension which burned him alive.
oh no. Sorry, if they're from the native plane of existence, they're banished to a harmless demi-plane.
Ah,
Yeah, might as well click this.
okay.
Yeah.
Faint popping noise. Yup. Uh-huh.
Oh my God.
Yeah, harmless demiplane, okay.
Yep.
Okay, I got an idea. Okay, I mean, yeah, you could try to banish him.
I feel like.
Then it would be very easy for an invisible docs to go and, like, flip the switches that are necessary.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or an invisible docs and a raccoon to do it.
And the
Hold on,
raccoon.
Let me see, because what's higher? At higher levels, when you cast a spell, 5th slot or higher, you can target one additional. Dang it, it's not longer. It's just more creatures.
Yeah.
Because maybe the raccoon would explain why things opened up mysteriously. And no one went through them.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'll be honest, a raccoon, like, if the guy disappears and then a raccoon comes in, but the raccoon also might be interesting.
He's
but
not on camera, though.
He's not.
He's
no,
not.
he's not.
Mm-hmm.
Banish raccoon, and then invisible docs.
Well, theoretically, if the guy's not there, then you don't really need the raccoon.
Well,
It's really just getting him out of the way.
The cells will still be opening up on camera mysteriously, for no reason.
Yep.
Yeah.
Maybe a raccoon
then-
wandering into the room, you know, and like all of a sudden, like
this works
Okay.
very well.
accidentally flipping switches or something, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have the raccoon as the plausible deniability. Dox goes in invisible.
And you banish this poor guy. All right, you know what? Sure. You're gonna. I'm just gonna roll something for this generic dude.
I could. There are other things I could do as well that like. But also like I kind of want this to happen.
I was just rolling. Okay. How many times can you cast banishment?
Twice.
The first time doesn't work. He like kind of like he itches for a second, like on your arcane eye, and you're like, huh, what was that? That was weird. Felt all tingly. Oh, I'm going back to my. He like looks at his sandwich. He's like, puts it down, just kind of pushes it away.
Oh,
Okay.
but I have a strike. I don't know, it's fine.
Gonna try again.
Yes.
All right.
Go.
Oh,
Squat. Raccoon waddles over, jumps up into like the other thing.
Pulls the right switch.
Pulls the correct levers.
yes, absolutely takes the sandwich for the actual raccoons outside.
Yeah. Okay. You know. Some like. You maybe want to flip a couple other switches, just looking like it. You're like playing with stuff, you know. And the one with the one
I
guy's
just
open.
like step all over the buttons, you know.
Yeah. The one with
Oh
the
yeah,
guy.
steal the sandwich.
Docs will run in
Yes,
as he'll be
I
like.
did steal the thing.
He'd be like, as like the gate will open, he'd be like, "Officer, I'm ready to talk. I guess I don't know what's been going on. I didn't kill her. I don't have magic powers, officer."
Dox is gonna. How's he situated on the bed?
He's just kind of like slumped over, you know, kind of got his like, you know, his hands on his knees, you know, kind of like down like this, like, you know, looks like he was just like thinking about what's going on.
Let me know if you want me to cast silence.
You're probably gonna want to cast silence.
Silence it is.
I'm gonna.
He'll speak again and be like confused, you know.
I'm gonna. Okay. So, this will probably break invisibility.
Yes.
Absolutely going to break invisibility. God, how would I? Because I want to try and like strangle this man, but I'm not strong. It's the problem.
I'm gonna check something here. You know, just that could have been an evil suggestion.
Yeah, give me some evil suggestions because I don't know what to do. Stuff his throat full of blankets.
Okay. I mean, let me put it this way. There is something you can do, which is something that people don't think about doing, if you have the spell slots for it.
Alright. You might want to give me a hint.
Okay. The transformation ends when the target is reduced to 0 hit points or dies.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Alright. Alright. Plan A. I'm gonna try to polymorph him into something small with a breakable neck.
What was your DC? 17?
17.
I do not think he has a +10 as I've rolled a 7.
Okay. I'm gonna polymorph him into like just a nice little mouse, and I'm gonna walk up and just snap its fucking neck.
I think a better way is just to, like, suffocate it in the blankets.
Yeah, sure, I'll just, like, smother it. Why
Yeah,
not?
because then
I'll
it is
smother-
running out of air. It just makes checks until it dies.
I could make it more painful for the guy, too.
Yes.
That's more evil. I'm just gonna smother him.
Yeah, you will smothering him, then he will die, and that's the thing is, like, you know, he dies.
Yeah, and
Yes.
he's back.
That's the thing about polymorph, is reducing it to 0 returns it back to its normal form. It's just doing basically death effects, like suffocating it, doesn't do damage.
Gonna suffocate him. And then when he pops back into a man, I'm gonna make it look like he hung himself.
Yeah. It's very evil, but it's one of those things is like...
It's Docs.
Yeah.
And then,
Doc has an evil sword talking to him all the time now.
Yeah.
yeah. And then I'm gonna use my last second level to just invisible my way out. After the deed is done.
Yeah, suffocation or drowning, which I think are just like... I have to...
How long does it take a mouse to suffocate?
Honestly, I'm not sure on that
I
one.
don't want that in my Google history.
That is one I'm not going to, like, look up.
It's called incognito mode.
And what I'll do is, after he's suffocated, I'll, like, try to, because this is a thing, as morbid as it is, it doesn't always break your neck. So he could have just genuinely, suffocated. So I'll just tie it really
honestly,
tight.
if you're doing it yourself in a cell, you have to suffocate yourself. You can't break your neck doing it yourself in a cell.
Yeah, I'll make it look like he did that, and then I'm gonna leave invisibly.
It might be more complex than that, but I'm just gonna say you probably can just, like...
I'm gonna say... he probably knows how to do it.
Yeah.
He's assassinated people before.
Yeah, Docs is probably a very long body count. This one doesn't end with cement shoes.
No, it does not end with it. And then you're gonna, I guess, like... What are you gonna do to make it look like he hung himself?
So I'm gonna take the bed sheets and tie it around his neck, loop it around sort of the it's assuming it's a bed that has like either what are they called? Some kind of headboard, or like it's a bunk bed.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wrap it around one of the something so you could like. God, I'm struggling to like a post. And wrap it like a post. And then I'm going to put like his hands around it so it looks like he was pulling it. And I'm just gonna like pull it very hard to get some bruising on there and then leave.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I like Lightning's plan. Just jam all the sheets into his mouth.
Pretty great.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what's gonna happen. And then I'm going to try to leave after it is done.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Wow.
Alternatively, what I could have done is tried to ignore the polymorph stuff and then just like try to strangle him with the sheets.
Strangle it,
I'm not, I've got 8 strength.
Yeah. I mean, you could have strangled a mouse with tiny sheets. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, we'll go with
Yeah.
the original plan.
Just have a mouse hanging from something. It was rodent side.
Oh, fuck.
That tiny mouse had so much to live for.
I can't make the joke I just thought of.
Anyway, all right, yeah. Regardless, you'll figure out a way to murder the guy. I'm not gonna make it difficult
we'll figure it out.
Just roll me a intelligence check. Just give me a straight intelligence check here. I just want to see something.
So smart.
Mm-hmm.
So good. I'm sure.
It's okay. It's okay. So we won't worry about that too much right now. Anyway, Raccoon plays around with stuff. Runs away with a sandwich as, like, most of the gates are then kind of closed up. There's this weird popping noise again there's this as, like, he lands in his chair. It's like,
huh. Where's my sandwich?
What just happened?
I gotta tell the wife that ham went bad.
He's missed so much sports game.
Oh.
I just imagine whatever dimension he is, he was just falling through the air the entire time, like, if dimension was playing there, like,
it's a harmless thing.
You know how
What if
when
he
you
got
go to
sent
sleep
to,
and he
like-
like jumps?
I was just gonna make the joke. What if he got sent to, like, Barovia by accident?
Next Barovia tale, you played the
hello?
police officer and ended up there on accident.
Yeah. No,
Where am I?
The
Where am
police
I?
officer is my Curse of Strahd character.
The slightly overweight police officer.
Yeah.
This is the weirdest sandwich I've ever eaten. Welcome to
That's
my
all
realm. Blah blah blah. Hi. Can you tell me how to get back to the police station? Apparently, I went on a I ate a bad sandwich and went on a trip.
Now, there
Freeze!
is one
In the name of
problem.
the law.
So there is one problem.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I spent all my 4 and 5 level spell slots,
Mm-hmm.
meaning I can't shape the door back to a wall.
Well, if no one looks for that.
Yeah, like,
It is
You
weird,
just move the
but at the
desks
same time,
back.
it's behind some desks.
yeah.
so...
If you just move the desks back, is
Yeah, I can
anyone
cast
gonna
silence
look?
again.
Yeah.
Just
we could even
saying
just-
though, that's the only downside.
That'll be fine.
Okay.
It must have
If
been the right.
anything,
it must have
it's
been
an
the
old
ra-
fortress. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
It was
Yeah,
the
it's the
raccoon
rac-
did it.
Raccoon did it. It's a magical raccoon.
I mean, the unfortunate thing is it could be a magical raccoon, because goddamn raccoons.
Exactly.
And
Yeah,
also, it's a
raccoon was
magical
an
realm. Yeah.
The raccoon was an archdruid the whole time.
Yes.
Who came in to steal a sandwich?
Yeah, just wanted a sandwich.
Wanted a sandwich.
Just really wanted a sandwich, man.
So yeah, that's the only downside. But oh well.
Yep. All right. So, you'll, I assume, clean up the room, maybe silenced, put things back, effectively hide the door as best you can, maybe, like, put the plug of stone that you had shaped out back in at least or something. I don't know. What did
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, no, I'd rather close it up mostly. I mean, at worst, maybe a raccoon dug through it.
Yeah,
It's a pretty big hole for a raccoon, but maybe a raccoon dug through it, and that's why
it's a really big raccoon.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
The little raccoon was bringing him the sandwich.
Yeah.
Raccoons made a hole. That could be the excuse. I don't know.
I mean, have you ever seen Donut Country?
Yes.
Have you played that game?
Raccoons?
Well, oh well.
All right.
Well, job's done. I will say much easier to do this back in the day, but yeah.
Ultra raccoon. So, yes. The security guard thinks he's eaten tainted ham. at least for now. There's only a raccoon on
falling
security
dreams are
camera.
common.
Yep, that was opening a lot of doors and playing around with buttons and stole a sandwich. And a man has apparently committed suicide. Looks like you seemingly completed your mission. You're back in the tunnels with a bag.
So what's in that bag?
With a bag.
Ah, what
don't
is in
know.
this bag?
What is in this bag?
What's in the bag?
What is in the bag?
Should we move away from here first before we open
Probably.
this bag? We should
Probably
leave
smart.
first.
Do you want to do anything with the funny door?
What?
The
oh,
door that-
right, that other door.
Huh?
The dialogue door that its description made me immediately think of Skyrim, and I hated it.
Funny door.
The funny door.
I like Docs will like look at it, like what kind of symbols are on it. Probably not know anything about it.
It looks as though there are 3 levels of symbols. The outside one you think is like maybe there's these weird line shapes. You don't recognize them off the top of your head. The next one inside seems to be like things that represent animals, maybe. And the last one seems to be various like looks like crystal shapes.
Okay.
Hmm.
Would I be able to tell if it's like any religious purpose or like arcana purpose? Or
Roll me nature. Roll nature.
nature.
Yeah.
Nature. You gave me a thing that I don't have proficiency in.
You're not
Actually,
sure.
Hold on. I might. Do I have nature? Nature might be the one I don't have. But let me look.
Womp womp. You can roll it.
No, I
too
have
if you
nature.
want it. Yeah. You want to roll it too. Okay,
Hey.
Mishka, you're unsure, but Vercel, you're looking at it, and you can tell that the outside layer seems to be of constellations.
Constellations, huh?
So constellations, animals, and crystals. And these are crystals that have unique shapes in nature. Like, you can recognize like them. So it seems to be about a dozen constellations, like 9 animals, and then 6 crystals. Each ones that grow in unique shapes. So, yeah. Uh-huh. Lawful was a good boy. Kept the camera alive. Anyway, why don't we take break 2 here? And we think about if we want to do anything with the door or the bag. And I can let you know what's in the bag. What's in the bag?
What's in the bag?
So if you need a drink, snack, bathroom break, go ahead and do that. We'll be back in a little bit for our last bit here. Do that, and I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do that, and we're back for our last, like, half an hour here. All right, so, here is what is in the bag. I'm just going to click this enter here.
Oh.
There is 1,000 platinum coins. An old gun. Like, I would call it like a, for our retrospective video, like a World War II era gun. So like a Luger or something. 2 bags of a strange powder, a film, a severed mummified hand, an eye in a jar, an amulet with a blood red jewel in the center, a set of white gloves, and a fedora. Fedora, like the hat.
Why? Oh, wait, this was.
I love it.
A
Milady.
route to like a month thing, wasn't it?
This
I don't
was
like the body parts.
Mm-hmm.
But
Sure.
some of the other stuff is kind of cool.
Strange powder.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Is the powder
It's-
white?
Yes! Yes, it is.
Yeah, but is it the fun kind or is it gonna kill
You
me?
don't know.
Only one way to find out.
Mm-hmm. And when I'm talking like a film, I'm talking like like a movie film like from the 30s one, like the rolls of film.
Yeah, I figured.
Yep. Mm-hmm. It's very nice white gloves. Finely embroidered, like a gold trim. Hello, Damien. And the hat is white too. I kidnap you.
All right, yeah. There's
Snuggles.
a bunch of stuff in there.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you found it, so I guess it's if you want a severed hand, Mishka, there you go.
Well, I don't really want
There's a
the
few
hands,
of them.
but
The hand only has 3 fingers and a thumb.
Right.
And you don't look like it's missing any. So it's not a human hand.
Okay,
Oh. Interesting.
Well, it's all a bunch of interesting stuff. I suggest we maybe leave.
Yes.
Unless you
Great.
want to do something with this thing, and I'll point to the door.
Vassal?
I'm out of spells. Sorry.
Okay. That's it then.
Well, it's gone from the thing, and Docs will lock
I'm just
everything
gonna-
back up.
Let's go.
Alright. We'll leave. Exit out the way you came. Are you locking things up behind you?
Yeah, Docs is gonna lock everything back up
Okay.
to the best of his ability.
No, kitty.
That strange lock might be a bit hard to lock again.
Mm-hmm. Alright, and you'll lock up the hatch and the chains that were on top of it, kind of putting them back, closing up the gates, heading back to your car, where there's a slip of white paper under the one windshield wiper.
I'll look at the paper.
Seems to be a ticket for parking in a park that was closed in the middle of the night.
Oh, well, not my card. I'll hand it to one of them.
Mm-hmm. With a warning that if it's not gone by morning, it'll be towed.
Oh, let's get it gone.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, you owe some people some money. You want to go pay your ticket at some point in time? It's
Yeah, we'll just pay our ticket.
it's the same police station you just were in.
Yeah, I'll just pay the ticket.
Oh. That's cool.
Well,
Uh-huh.
I definitely do not have a sandwich with me.
I thought you gave it to the raccoons.
Did I see the raccoons yet?
Sure.
Sure.
Okay.
I definitely,
Yeah,
for
I mean,
sure, do not have
those
not a
raccoons
raccoon.
are gonna go on one hell of a journey.
I would like to make friends with these raccoons, but I suppose we cannot. I'll hold off because I feel like Docs will yell it.
Docs is calling someone on the phone.
Oh.
Free to do whatever you want.
I will sneak over to play with the raccoons momentarily while
Okay.
they handle the important
Okay.
paying the ticket.
Roll me a animal handling with advantage from Sandwich.
Let's
You
go.
gave him a sandwich.
Yeah.
I did give him the sandwich. Let's go.
Raccoon.
As you're on the phone, you can peer over, and there's there's a group of 5 raccoons at Mishka's feet, one on each of her shoulders, and one that's now trying to climb up on top of her head.
Let's go.
Right. Yeah, sure. And Docs will just continue to
And there's also
follow his boss.
it's near the trash can, and there's one of them was on the trash can eating the sandwich, you know.
I have made friends with the king.
Docs will he'll chuckle at it.
Uh-huh.
And then he's gonna phone his boss.
Okay. Ah, Docs. Can you tell me good news?
It's done.
Excellent. Excellent. Everything went according to plan this time?
For once.
Great. Well then. Thank you for attending the wedding. I hope that we can continue our wonderful business relations. The payment will be in the same place as normal. Same account, I assume.
Yes, that would be fine. Thank you.
Excellent. Well, until I have need of your services again, I hope you enjoy your stay here in Flan for a little bit longer.
I will. Have a wonderful night.
Vercel, are you like then driving them over to the police station you were just in the basement of to pay the ticket?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
No reason not to.
Yeah. Like like the officer behind the thing, you know, there's probably going to be like a little bit of like busyness going on there or something, you know. But the guy behind the desk here is like, "What can I do for you?"
Just put the ticket down, put the money down.
He's gonna like kind of like take a look at it, go through his paperwork, click on something on his computer, and then be like, "I know it looks like it's free parking, but public parks are closed during the evening. Try parking on the streets next time, or in a shopping center that might not care."
Sorry, I was in town for a wedding. I didn't know.
It's not great parking. Whatever.
Oh no, I was just visiting the park for a late night jog.
He's gonna kind of like side eye you, kind of like look you up and down, and be like, "Whatever. Out of towners." Anyway, you're paid off. You should be good. It's in our records. Thank you for stopping by. I hope your rest of your stay here is fine, and please just obey the basic sensible laws. When there's signs out that say closed during the night, it means closed. He'll go back to work. Alright.
Right.
You meet up with everybody. What's the plan now?
Mishka, if you and your raccoon friends don't object to it, I think we should get about to finishing this.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I suppose you're right.
Mm-hmm.
She'll reluctantly get up
Mm-hmm. I
and
mean,
follow after them.
yeah. I'm assuming that, like, you know, okay. I'm just gonna roll something here. Just okay. All right. Where are you going? Back to your hotel? Back home? Got choices.
What is the plan for this part? Spend the night here and then leave town, or just leave right away?
I mean, you could rest up. We were out all night.
Yeah, suppose so.
All right, you'll crash back at the hotel. And then I'm guessing you're going to depart back to Kalimport before heading on to Mostica, which I assume is your next stop. The journey back will not be a difficult one, of which please everybody give me perception checks, though, along the way back.
Perception.
Where is it?
I did it with freaking.
Ooh,
advantage,
nat
but
one.
it's
Doc
13.
was not paying attention.
Oh no.
I'm going to make this assumption. Vercel's driving. Dox is probably in the front, just because Dox is probably on, you know, like keeping things up, you know, because you're in like the van. Therzee's kind of like the middle, and Mishka's kind of like in that middle sort of back area, you know. Mishka, you will notice this. Vercel, you probably will notice something weird, but it's going to be up to you because you'll probably see it in your rearview mirror. you'll notice there's some stowaways in your van.
Are they my raccoons?
They just might be.
Oh, you're right, Priscilla. You look like you're looking. There's something back there. Oh God.
You're like the queen of the raccoons. As there's like,
Yes!
I made a stealth check against passive perceptions for raccoons getting into your van when you're leaving.
Let's go!
Docs are just gonna look like side-eye Mishka. And
He's just gonna give him like a grin, like it's like I didn't do it. Like,
I'm
I
too
didn't do it
old
this
for
time,
this.
I swear.
she puts her hands up like a little bit, like I didn't do it.
I'm too old for this, and he's just gonna go back to reading his book.
All right. I think we are a little early, but I think we should depart here from our tales, because this is a perfect place that we're saying you're getting back to Calimport and getting ready for your next departure, which you'll have to plan out, which will probably be good for next time getting into the planning of your trip to Mazdaca and turning to the next main part of the storyline, which might be the final part because it's the last piece of the puzzle that you need. Acquiring the descendant of Diastan, who will go along with your plans. What is it with loud cats in this show?
I don't know, man.
Damien wandered off because there's other people to torment.
Just don't stop.
The cats are trying to help us in summoning our Dark Lord.
That's true. That's true. Anyway, why don't we have everybody give outros and stuff? We'll end it for today just a little early because it's a very good stopping point, and then we'll pick up when we last left off. We'll do counterclockwise. I like counterclockwise most of the time, so we'll start with Jinxx.
Oh. I'm Jinxx Jams on Twitch and Twitter. I will most likely be streaming today because yesterday was my birthday, so I'm doing maybe birthday things. I don't know.
Well, happy belated birthday.
Happy late birthday.
Thank you.
I will
22
not.
now.
I will save you my horrible singing.
Appreciate it. I appreciate the thought. But yes, that's me.
Cool. Worm.
I'm Diamond Worm. You can find me on twitch.tv/DiamondWorm or @DiamondWorm on Twitter. I've been streaming Warframes on Thursdays. Might try something else on Saturdays.
Cool.
Still working on stuff.
Alright. And then, Momo.
Hi, I am Momo. You can find me at MomoShu on Twitch or @Yishu on Twitter. Either possibly tonight or tomorrow I might stream some busy work for Final Fantasy XIV that I've done.
Ooh. And myself, Tantstar Dracovin. You can find me here most days, either streaming games or at least very well streaming RPG-related stuff if you're looking for more RPGs. Other than this show, every Monday at 2 p.m. right now. Tomorrow at 2 p.m., all EST is Legacies of Kain, Vampire the Masquerade game. That's a pretty fun one. Hopefully you can join for that. Thursdays at 8 p.m., Children of Wrath, D&D meets Magic the Gathering. So it's a 5th edition game set in the Magic Gathering world of Dominaria. That's at 8 p.m. EST. And then Saturdays at 2 p.m. for Discussing Tabletop, which has been really fun. Deep diving into some interesting role-playing and tabletop-related topics. And I'll probably get some gaming streams sometime this week, at least one or two. I've been, just not scheduling them quite well lately, but I'm trying to get a good schedule of them, so expect them this week at some point. Anyway, for now, I think we're all going to pop off. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay sane. And hopefully... oh, yes, and Lightning reminded me I will be on a Star Trek stream on someone else's channel, the Unfunny Ones channel on Twitch at 8:30. And it's 8:30 for Children of Wrath, 8:30 on Tuesday evening. So that's one where I'm playing a Gorn Doctor Enjoy that
Yeah,
one.
the Star Trek one is pretty good from the one session I've watched so far.
That's another good one. So anyway, sane, healthy, sane, etc., etc. Great rest of your day. Great rest of your week. If you can't join any of us for anything else, and until next time, farewell. Bye, bye, bye.